Alrighty, so I know you guys are probably like, what is Ben doing now? He is always changing something. Well, this one actually is a pretty big change. For instance, instead of reordering green phantom plecos to put into my 55-gallon pleco breeding project aquarium that I set up a couple of weeks ago, not a couple of weeks ago, more like a month, maybe a month and a half ago, instead of restocking it with more green phantom plecos, I decided that I wanted to take a little turn. And that little turn actually is going to affect my entire fish room because I'm going to be doing different variations of this specific type of fish. So why am I showing you guys my corridors? Salt and pepper corridors to be specific. This is my salt and pepper corridor breeding group that I have in one of my 10-gallon tanks along with a guppy breeding trio of half black pastels. The reason why I'm showing you guys these corridors is because this is part of the big change. I'm going to be expanding the variations of corridors that I breed, mainly because right now I'm only breeding the salt and pepper corridors that I have. There's only 6 of them from the 8 that I originally bought, so I decided that instead of replacing the green phantom plecos that died with more green phantom plecos, that would be another large expense. I would just use the replacement funds to pay for more variations of different types of corridors. So what does this mean for my fish room overall? Well, for my guppies, my live bearers, because I do also have swordtails, I'm not going to be getting rid of any of those. All of these guys are actually going to be staying in the fish room, though most of the tanks of different trios and breeding pairs and breeding groups will be condensed to 1 or 2 tanks in the fish room rather than, I think I have about 10 right now going for all guppies and live bearers. They will be transferred down to 2 so that the rest can be used for corridors. Just when you thought Changes in the Fish Room couldn't get any bigger, you're right now looking at my 7 to 8 inch red-shouldered show gold Severum named Bob. I've been keeping this guy for relatively around 6 months. I've beefed him up a little bit. He has grown in size since I got him, and the tank that he's in is right now getting a little too small for him. And since I am going to be using my 55, the only 55 I have in my fish room to breed corridoras, I can't put him in there, obviously, because he most likely will be aggressive towards the corridors and the little baby corridors once they hatch from their eggs. So I have just made the official decision to actually get rid of Bob, take him down to the pet store, maybe get some money for him if it's possible, and potentially turn around a profit, because I did pay a low amount of money when I bought him at an auction, so I think that I could probably get a couple dollars more just so that I am turning it around for somewhat of a profit, and also since he's not too old of a fish. In my 55-gallon tank, since I am going to be changing it to a corridor breeding tank, obviously not much in the aquarium is going to change. The vegetation and different things like that in the tank are pretty safe for the corridors to live. There's sand on the bottom of the aquarium, which is also recommended when keeping corridors. Some people will tell you that bare bottoms are not always the best. Some people will tell you they're better than sand, but I am right now going to go out on my own limb and actually just try out the theory that sand is better than a bare bottom, just personally because it looks better in my eyes. Other than that, let's talk about what we're actually going to be stocking this tank with. So my 55-gallon tank will be stocked with a group of stir-by corridors at breeder size, while the rest of the 10-gallon tanks in the fish room will be stocked with both albino corridors and bronze corridors as shown. So guys, I know I have been doing a ton of update-style videos lately, and I know this is just another one just to go right above all the others, but all the information provided to you in this video I felt was very important, just because, you know, potentially by summer this year I may not be breeding live bears whatsoever anymore. I may be completely switching over to corridors if that's as successful as I want it to be, and if it's something that I'm really passionate about. I have been pretty passionate about doing live bearers, but I'm definitely looking forward to a change in the upcoming weeks as we start to stock the 55 and stock the other 10-gallon tanks that I have throughout the fish room. With that said, I do have to bring this video to a close, just because I really have nothing else to talk about that is super huge compared to all the other different things that I have already spoken about. So, like always, if you guys enjoyed this video and as much as I enjoyed making it, please like this video, subscribe to my channel because the support always helps me out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next Sunday.